Welcome to MarcusRushingMD. It's my sincere pleasure to bring to you this brand new series, Dear Society, Diagnosing Institutional Racism. May these words inspire you. May these scars heal you. May these stories change you. So I grew up on the west side of Chicago, not too far from Central and Lake, right off the Green Line. I had very fond memories as a kid. I grew up eating oodles the noodles, pizza puff with fries, mild sauce on everything. I learned to hoop on cutout crates in alleys throughout North Austin. Now that's how you really learn to perfect a jumper. I learned to swim at LaFolly Park. My cousins taught me how to fancy footwork. Don't ask me now. You know, my knees got a little older now. My uncles taught me how to step to groups like the Shy Lights and some of the other oldies but goodies. My curiosity was developed gazing out of CTA bus windows on my commute from North Austin all the way to Lane Tech. And many of my professional interests had their start on the west side too. My first introduction to public speaking started at Sunday school. Thank you, Mother Singleton. My first introduction to science came from the classroom of Mr. Hale over at Ella Flagg Young. Yes, he chewed garlic, but that man had a passion for instilling values and knowledge into little black kids. I met my first black entrepreneurs at my first job at HT Hardware, right there on Chicago Avenue. The first doctor I knew was a CNA from Anniston by the name of Mae Francis. Yes, before CHIP was passed in '97, there was my grandmother. When we got hurt, she sewed up our wounds. And when she got hurt, I had the unfortunate experience of watching her struggle with diabetes. So as you can see, my formative years on the west side had a lot to do with molding me into who I am today. My love for God and people started on the west side. I learned how to fight and, more importantly, when to fight on the west side. My big brother would always say, can anything good come from Nazareth? And yes, a lot of good can come from the hood. My community birthed in me a medical doctor, a PhD candidate, and now a law student. Now, how's that for a pipeline program? Growing up, I thought that most of Chicago looked like what I saw in my formative years. I would later find out that Chicago had many sides. And I'm not just talking about directionality. I'm talking about the socio-legal complexion of cities like Chicago. There's more, just like there's more than one side to a coin, there's more than one side to a city. And there's also more than one side to companies and institutions that reside in those cities. Over the next few episodes, I'm going to show you a sneak peek into some of those sides. Some of you may be familiar with some of my battles with some of those big institutions. And trust me, we're definitely going to get into all of that. Before I do, though, I think that it's important to know, for you to know, why we're doing this series. This isn't really a blame and shame type of thing. We aren't just pointing fingers, but I believe that the first step in fixing a problem is to determine what that problem is and to determine where that problem is. Together, we are going to diagnose a few of those problems. And I hope to instill in you that together we can also cure some of those problems. If you ask a lawyer or politician, what are some of the most important words in our Constitution? They may take you to one of the articles of the Constitution or one of the amendments. But I believe that the most powerful phrase in our Constitution is right there at the beginning, right there in its preamble. And it reads simply, "We the people." Those three words, "we the people," are more powerful than any political party. They're more powerful than any Fortune 500 company. They're even more powerful than the 9-member bench that gathers in Washington, D.C. These three words have spurred on almost every major socio-political movement in our history. Major change happens when we, the people, decides that change needs to happen. Some people think that change occurs in courtrooms or on Capitol Hill. But I believe that major change happens first in the hearts and minds of we, the people. I hope that this series informs you, but I also hope that it reminds you of our collective responsibility as we, the people, to mold our society into a more perfect union. This responsibility is not just up to our elected officials, our politicians, our enforcement agencies, but a more just society is really up to just us. We have to be the change that we want to see in the world. We got to pause right now, but thank you so much for joining. If you like what you heard so far, please give me 3 S's. Subscribe, share, and stay tuned. Be blessed.